everybody, it's Lena. Welcome to my channel. Tonight I thought it would be a great idea to film a few different ways to do your brows. Well, it's not really different ways, it's kind of like the same technique but with 3 different products. So you'll learn how to do it with gel, with powder, and with a pencil. So I like to use the pencil for more of like a natural look, and same with the powder, and the gel I like to use to kind of emphasize my brows, maybe for a night out. Let us make it known that it is 12:16 a.m. and these are the things I decide to do at night, because being awake and doing your makeup is so much better than your dreams. Fact number 2. I've had this makeup on since about 9 in the morning, so this makeup tutorial is solely on the brows. By the way, I'm kind of talking very low because everyone upstairs is sleeping, so if at any point you hear my mom screaming, it's not because she's in pain, it's because she's annoyed that she hears my voice. It's just like a normal thing in my household, don't worry. If you like to see how I do my brows, 3 different ways, 1 technique, please keep watching. Whenever I do my brows with powder, I use the Morphe Brow 7 palette. So it's kind of like this palette with every shade that you pretty much need to do your brows. Unless you're like a really light blonde, then you might need some taupe. What can't you buy at Sephora, am I right? Using an angled brush, any generic angled brush will work. But I feel like you always need an angled brush to do your brows. I'm not sure what other brush you might use. Okay, so I like to start with lighter colors. So I'm gonna take the light color in the middle here, and I'm going to actually both underline and feather upward on the inner part of the brow. So I'll start with like forming the line underneath and I'll feather it upward. Next, I'm going to take my dark brown, which you can tell that I love, and I'm going to both underline the shape of my brow and fill it upward again. Starting with like the underline. So we're going to continue feathering the darker color only on the outer parts of the brow. And I like doing this like when I'm in a rush to go to work because it's the easiest, quickest way to do it. And then as I work inwards toward the inner corner of my brow, I continue to feather up the rest of the product through the lighter color that we first applied. Beautiful. Take in that like this side of my face is like pleased to meet you, excited about living life, and is just like with the day. And this side of my face is like, I'm staying home today, don't bother me, don't expect me to be someone I'm not. I like to take a spoolie, any spoolie, and just make sure it all blends perfectly together and there's no like clumps or extra product in any spots. My concealer, so I use the Kat Von D Lock-It concealer lately. I've been using that. Okay, this is how cheap I am. Okay, this is my old like Dior concealer, and I just love like the brush on the end of it, so like I'll wash it, but I'll continue using it to underline my brows. It's just what works for me, okay? So I'll like dip it in like a concealer and just underline my brow with it to clean it up. So that's exactly what I'm doing. So, because I just find like the brush on this makes it so much easier to get a perfect line. So here's the look created with just powder. Like I said, you don't have to put much work into this. All you have to remember is putting the lighter color on the inner corner of your brow and the darker colors on the outer corners of your brow, and just making sure that all blends together. Here is brow product number 2. I'm going to be using the Gosh pencil. This is like a drugstore brand, but you could use any pencil. And I like it because it has a spoolie at the end, so it makes it a lot easier to achieve a more blended gradient look. I like to do this when I have a little bit more time, but I also like want to keep it natural as possible. So I feel like this might be the most natural look. So if you're looking for just a natural brow look, you don't want to make it look like you're wearing a lot of makeup on your brows, you want to make it seem like you have just that perfect brow on your own, go for the pencil. Again, I'm using the same technique, just with the pencil. So I'm going to underline my brow. Next, I'm going to use lighter pressure and upward strokes on the inner part of the brow. Now I like to go over top of the brows, same as what we did earlier, just over the top part instead of underneath. After I've done that, I'm going to apply a little bit more pressure on the outer parts of my brow. And as I work it inward, the pressure will become lighter and lighter as we make the brow lighter towards the inner part. I'm going to take my concealer and underline the brow and make it look more clean. This is brow product number 2. Same technique, same look, little lighter, little more time than the powder, but also because we made it a little more precise. The powder is not like very precise. It just, you apply it on, your brow looks darker, and that's it. Whereas this, we've actually focused a little bit more on the shape, but at the same time, it still looks a little more natural because we've used a less pigmented product. Next, I'm going to use my Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade in the color dark brown. So after cleaning my brush, I'm going to use the angled brush again for the dip brow. The technique again will be the same. And with this product, you really want to have a light hand. Like if you want to get a gradient brow, I suggest you apply it with a light hand and you continuously build it until you're satisfied. So again, I'm going to use a little bit of the pomade and underline. Mia, be quiet. After I've underlined, I'm going to go back in to the inner corner and feather it upward. Again, just using minimal pressure. And I'm going to dip it again and focus on the upper part of the brow to create more of a shape. This is optional. Like if you don't want your brows to look too shapely, then I would skip the top line and continue to just feather it through until you like the look. But if you want it to look like a perfect shape, outline the top of the brow. I haven't used Dipbrow in forever and I like miss how good it looks. Just so perfect. And you almost like don't have to clean it up after because it just is so easy to make it look like a perfect line. So I like to like blend it out by just feathering my brush through the front part of it, of the brow. So here's the look, same technique but with Dipbrow. So this is the final look. The look is the same, just a little slightly different between the 3 products that I use. I like to alternate between the products depending on how much time I actually have in the morning. So if I'm in quite a rush, I'll just throw some brow powder on. If I want to make it look like I put a little more effort in, I use these pencils. Sometimes I combine the pencil with the powder, so I'll use the pencil and do it as I showed you, and then I'll apply the powder just on the outer edges of the brow to make it look more defined. But my absolute favorite product of the 3 has to be the Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade, because it just makes your brows look absolutely perfect, and it just stays the same throughout the whole entire day. So that is how I achieve my brows. I get many compliments on my brows, so I thought I'd make a tutorial on the 3 different products I use to achieve the same look. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you found it informative and you really enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more. Also, I'd love to hear your suggestions on more videos coming up. I look forward to getting into more holiday looks soon since it is December. You know, when you just have to throw some brows on. Like, I could leave the house naked, but if I don't have my brows on, I will actually be naked.